Hello friends and welcome to the next 3D Adventure Creator tutorial. First, I'm sorry that I haven't made tutorials in a while. That's because I was sick for a while and I'm still having some after effects from that. So I might sound a bit sick, but I'm getting better. But let's go to the next thing we have here. First things first, I changed the ground planes to a terrain, so I could paint the textures on it, and it's smoother and like that. I also added new textures to the ground, so those you can find in the Drive folder I have provided you. The link will be in the description, and you can do the terrain yourself. It's quite easy. But I won't go into that now. I added some lights here and baked the lights with Bakery. It's a paid asset on Unity Asset Store. So your game will probably not look like this. The shadows are all pretty good. For example these, I think this looks nice, the little thing I have here. But let's go to the actual interesting stuff this time. So first things first, we want to add a little bit more of movement to our player character. So let's do a couple things to change here. Let's create an empty game object on our player prefab here. Let's call it leaner. That will affect our when we want to lean to left or right, only this object will move and not the entire player, because that would cause some problems. But if the camera is in the leaner object, as a child of the leaner object, we only need to move this, and this is how we do this. Okay, so this needs to have movable script, so we can move it. It needs to have constant ID with retain in prefab detect, so we can always find this. And while we're here, let's also add a movable script to our player prefab. That will, oh no player movement, just movable. Yeah, we will handle our crouch straight from the player object and lean from this one. And what we need to do, go into the Drive folder and let's add a new script here. I will do a folder called custom, and inside it let's do scripts, and inside that we can add the script we have. There are actually two scripts. Check if grounded is what we need right now. You can also download the trigger particle effect. It will probably come useful later. It's not perfect script, but it's something. And then just drag and drop into your scripts folder. Wait for it to compile. And in AC Game Editor, in Actions Manager, we want to add this folder we have the custom scripts in to our custom action scripts. So just click on it, find the folder, it's here, select that. So Adventure Creator will find these scripts and add them to our action list editor. Okay, now let's assign some buttons. Add two to our input manager. Open those two you made. Name this lean right and name this lean left. And for this, positive button for lean right is E and lean left is Q. And next we can go to Adventure Creator Editor's Active Inputs Editor. So create a new active input here. Label this lean right also. It doesn't really matter what you name this, but just make it same under the input button, so it will use the input button we just defined in the input manager. default settings is fine. Create the action list when we trigger this button. Open that. Let's first add our custom script which checks if the player is grounded. This is one of the scripts we brought into our project. Then add an object transform. We want to open our player prefab for this. Okay, so add the leaner to this movable object. It will then find it by the constant ID. Let's set the values here. It will be translate to 0.6 and -0.4. Transition time is like 0.3. Don't stop existing transforms, wait until finish and smooth. And then we must also remember to make sure it's running in background. So click on the asset here on the assets folder and go to asset properties. When running, run in background. Then this action list will not stop our gameplay. Then let's do the same for lean left. We can insert another, name it lean left, copy that here, create another action. You can also name these so you will find them better. Just let it be lean left, and this will be just lean right. Okay, and we are doing lean left now. Basically we could just copy selected from the lean right to lean left, delete the first one and just do that. Okay, now since we are going the other way, the only change we have to change here is on the x value, put minus there. And remember to also change run in background for this too. Now in order to release our lean, we need to assign another input. So let's add one more. And this will be lean release. And the positive button can be Q, and let's add alternative positive button, which will be E. Go back into the active input editor. Add lean release, and then we will change response to on button up. When we release Q or E, it will do this. Rename that also to lean release. And then the only thing we need to do here is copy and add only this here. So it will just go back to 0. And maybe a bit quicker. And same as before, run in background. Now we should be able to lean. Yes. There's like a little peak around the corner. Okay, let's do crouch next. In input manager, add yet another input. You can hide the rest. And this will just be crouch. Let's see. Let's say C or left control. Either one of those is fine. This crouch will work as a toggle. We could also do hold, but we would need to add. It would have to be done in a little different manner. But we will do it. This is the simpler way. Crouch and create the action list. Rename that just a crouch. This will also be running background. And we will also have to check the grounded here. And for this, we actually have to do a global variable. Global variables work in any scene in the game, and local is just the scene that you're currently in. It has to be global for it to work in any scene. This will be our crouch toggle, and from that drag into a check for that crouch toggle. So from here we want to again go to object and transform, not teleport, transform. Open our player again, and now let's drag the base player object there. And we will this time not translate, but we will scale to the y value to around 0.35. About the same speed as the lean. Hold on, this actually needs to, or like, it's fine whatever way you do it, but I think this is better. Like from true, we go to 1, 1, 1. Oh, and also I need to remember, since we are scaling to something, we want to make sure the x and the z value stay as 1. And this is like the what it has to be at all times. So from check global crouch toggle, if it's true, make sure the player goes back to its original state, and if it's not met, scale it down in y-axis so the player just goes down. For this we will also change the speed of our character. Don't remember what the values we have are right now. 5, 8. Okay. So we will go to character, animate, is player, and set standard, move speed, float. And this is the default value. I think this parameter name might only be used by animations, but let's just change our speed scale to, let's say, maybe 2 and 3 would be good. Copy that here and put it back to where it was, and that would be 5 and 8. And the last thing is here, when we actually go down, we will set our variable crouch toggle to be true. Copy that here and make it false in the other one. Oh yeah, I forgot. We actually have to tap the move player here. Yeah, we can toggle crouch. It goes quite the ways down, but I don't think that's a problem for us. There is still like a little problem when we try to go crouch back up, we can't actually fit there. But when we are under some object that we have crouched under, I don't know, can I find a thing? It will like bump into objects a little bit. Like with this sword, for example, it just pushes us off. But it's not that big of a deal. I might have to, let's see how it looks like in the scene. Let's open up the player. Yeah, it's too wide. It's too large for this one. So I think we just have to make the path wider here. Like maybe remove those and bring these up a little bit. Now my lighting is gonna get fucked, but I don't really care at this point. I will fix it later. It looks a bit weird when there's no like another hay bale here. But these are now connected with these ones. The lighting now is broken because I have baked my lighting and I moved some objects. But that's nothing that you have to worry about. Let's just see if we can fit there. Because that's a gameplay thing I have planned for you to do. Yes, we can now fit here. Yeah, amazing. And yes, if we stand in here, we will do that. and that's something that we have to like find out how to fix. But I have also added a little pickup thing here. So now we can pick up objects, and we also have a sound for that. Yay. Okay. And how to do that I will show you in just a minute. I will just jump up here. The movement is a little janky at this point. I haven't optimized it yet properly, but I have added another bottle here, and we want to do the same thing as we did with that to this bottle. Before that, let's add another folder with asset lists and add our things there that we just made. Might as well also make another folder in there with player movement, because there will be a lot. When you start making game, this folder will be full, so it's better to organize this a little bit. So all the things related to player movement go here, and other stuff we can optimize as needed. Okay, to pick up an object, let us make in AC Game Editor, go to Scene and click on Logic, Hotspot, and Add New. Let's move it to our bottle here. And there we go. Let's move it on top of the bottle. We can always turn off the yellow cube by clicking that. And let's scale the collider to fit the bottle. Okay, I think that's about good enough. As long as it surrounds the bottle completely, it's fine. Okay, let's name this bottle, if I can write, of wine. Yes, that's great. We want to highlight the object. So here, let's add a highlight script to this object that we want to highlight. And then, hold on, it's quest bottle 2. Yes, add that object to the highlight here. And for the highlight to work, in URP, you actually have to go to settings and add underscore base color on the highlight material override. By default, I think it's underscore color, so it doesn't say anything here. But for URP in 3D, you want to change this, so it works for us. Okay. We also want to add an interactive boundary, so the player can, I want it only to be able to pick it up from on top of these boxes here. That's fine. I think it's enough if it's just about on top of the box here. It doesn't have to like cover the whole player or anything, it's just in this general area. Okay. Then add an use interaction. Turn to face is fine. Go interaction. And then object, teleport. Let's teleport the quest bottle. I will actually, when we have our hotspot selected, we can see there's another bottle of wine there. That's the first bottle of wine we made. Let's add this to 2. And I want to give the quest bottle to that as a child. So when we do the action list, we only have to move the entire hotspot, so it will move everything related to that out of the scene. Interactive boundary. Did this bottle have interactive boundary to it? Yes, it's just under the quest bottle there. So let's do the same for this. It doesn't matter where it is, as long as it's in the base hotspot object. So that is added to the object to move, and go to off-screen marker. You want to make an off-screen marker from scene, marker, and just add new. I also already have mine in here. I put it under the map. Let's go to navigate position markers and obscure markers. Click an object here and press F, it will zoom into that. It's like under like the map -20 on y-axis. Why are we teleporting objects away when we like pick them up instead of just destroying them? Well, that's something that can cause some issues, so we want to do it like that. I'm not going to go too much deeper into that, why it's like causing issues, but like just keep that in mind. Also, at the same time, in the action list, we will actually add a bottle of wine into our inventory. Choose sound, play, and for that you want to have a default sound can be added to the scene from the scene settings and default sound. You can just then duplicate that, or you can just add a sound from here. Okay, on the pickup sound we have added a new audio for it. It's this one, and we will move the pickup sound to this. I cannot provide you with this pickup sound because this is from some pack that I have paid for, so you will need to go on like freesound.org or something to find your own sounds. That also the same goes with music, and that's why I cannot provide you with those. Find some free stuff, there are plenty online. And that's basically it. Okay, let's jump on top of these crates now. Huh? Oh no, I couldn't make it. I was too fast. Too fast, too furious. Can't play my own game. How sad is that? Huh? There's our bottle of wine. It highlights and it gives us this little pop-up message. Click on that and we have picked it up. Yay! Okay, that's how you make a basic pickup object thing with an inventory item that we have added to our inventory. And just how to make an item, it's really simple. Just create an item and give it a name. Something. Carrier multiple, add the graphics. It's really that simple. Now do we have actually an inventory menu in game? It is there. And it's mouse over on appear type, so let's just do an input key. And the toggle key I will add my own inventory. And let's make build settings, player settings, input manager. Add yet another input key. And name this inventory. And put the positive button on I, remove the old that one, and now when we go into the game we can actually open our inventory with pressing I, and we can also, whoa, that was a speedy climb, we can see our bottle is in our inventory, and we can go here. And we can pick up this one too, and well, we should have two. For our bottle of wine to be able to have multiple, you just have to tick in the inventory items can carry multiple. Okay, that's the basics of like hotspots. We will go deeper into those later. I don't know what I will do next time, but I can take some suggestions on what would you want to see or learn. Let me know. There are a lot of stuff that can be taught with this. I will try to give you like most useful things that I can like figure out how to do for how to like teach these things to you. Okay, anyway, I think this was it for this video. I will see you next time.